Yo, it's B Class with the classic codes. We got another reaction today. Heading back to the East Coast, rocking with 8 at the table. They got a pretty intense topic today, so we're going to see what they're talking about. I haven't watched this in its entirety, so we're going to give an authentic reaction today. You already know, like, subscribe, and jump in the comments, whether you agree or disagree. Let's have great conversation. We all about cracking the codes. We not about being right. So let's do it. Let's see what they talking about, man.
To the gym. I had to learn when you're raising, especially a boy.
Oh, I seen this.
I came from a household where it was just a mom. I had my grandfather and I had my pops, but there was no man in the household. I started arguing with females once I started to go through things. It got physical orders. You know why? Because I was an emotional boy. I didn't have nobody in the household to say, okay, look, this is not how you go about it. Go to the gym. I had to learn this from
the music. The music.
I had to read books, go on YouTube, do these different avenues I had to learn. Yes, grandpa telling me certain things, pops telling me certain things. But when you have a man in a household, the chances of that boy that's becoming a man to grow up emotional, 80% of the people that's in jail came from single household mothers. Meaning this, if I'm in a club and a nigga step on my sneakers, they go, what's up, bro, what you doing? Now guess what? Somebody dies, somebody going to jail. You know why? Because that boy wasn't raised in a household with men. That's the problem in society, because females with the mindset that I don't need a man. That's the reason why we have females in this generation that's having kids that I don't need a man. Now they growing up without fathers. Now y'all raising emotional ass boys.
Hey, no. First off, let's stop right here. Shout out to his grandpa right there with the Cowboys hat on. Y'all know what time it is with me. Yeah. Secondly, these women couldn't wait for a moment to jump in and defend everything that he's saying that has been proven statistically to be true. It's crazy. When it's time for some accountability, this is what you get.
So many women talking.
The music is so. I
I'm
know.
talking about they couldn't wait for him to be done. But la baba blue bop bop bam boom. They couldn't wait for him to be done. Let's see what they say, man. That's crazy. That man ain't make nothing but points and state statistical facts.
Place where somebody just started like getting hype like that, because I don't have I'd be like, I would start laughing. Like, I'm gonna walk away.
It depends on what's going on, but I'd be like, all right. If I'm actually there,
you know he get hype.
I'd be like, get him, nigga. What he's saying is true. Where men that grow up without a male figure, and not just a male figure. This is why I disagree. A proper male figure in the house, because there's male figures in the house that's still emotional, and he's actually learning from that man. And maybe it might be true if you go down the line, but maybe it might not. I think that we got to this whole space over the last 8 years about emotional intelligence, not just because there was a lack of emotional regulation, but there was no real correlation where it was coming from. Because I think what happens with men is when men get frustrated and they've been tolerating a lot, that's when they get very emotional and explosive. I
agree with that last part. When men have been very tolerant, very, very tolerant for an extended period of time, and what they say, they've been suppressing for too long, they do become combustible. No bromo, but they do become pretty explosive people. They can, they become a hairpin trigger. You know what I mean? They can go off at any minute. So I definitely agree with that part. The part I disagree on is I think even having any unemotionally regulated man in the household still benefits a young boy growing up. So I disagree with him that you got to be a proper man. You just need to be a man in the house, because even if they see an example of a man who is overly emotional, it's still an example of a man. Even an emotional man is more of a masculine example and an example of at least somewhat how to be a man, more of an example than what a woman is going to be able to provide. So I disagree with him on that piece. But as far as suppressing your emotions, ain't nothing to disagree with there.
Now the other flip side, like when he was saying that they have zero tolerance for anything. So even if you get your shoe stepped on, now you're trying to fight. I think that again, like he has points that I agree with, points that I disagree with, because I don't think that it's solely just having a male figure, because I do believe in the village around you does play a part. So if his grandfather did have enough impact on him, the thing is he didn't want to listen to his grandfather and father enough, right? For whatever reason. But if you do have that male figure that you actually value, who can, give you some good core value.
I got to disagree with Rico again. There is something to having a man in the house. It's something to that. So I have to disagree with him. Like just having somebody around. Now you got exceptions. Like if you have a male figure that's not in the house, but like literally you come home from school as a kid and then you do your homework and leave right back out and you go be with this male role model, whether it's your basketball coach or your football coach or your wrestling coach or whatever the situation is, you go out and you spend most of your time with this male role model. He is essentially taking you under his wing, so to speak. And so you getting a sufficient amount of hours on a day-to-day with this person. If that's not the instance, if you only seeing grandpa on Saturday afternoon for 3 hours a week, or you only seeing Unc, twice a week for an hour at a time type business, that's not sufficient, bro. It's something to having a man in the house, because even if he not talking, he's still showing you by example. My father was a man of my father's a talkative guy, but as far as being a dad, he wasn't a man of a whole lot of words. But I'm just like my dad, and that come from his examples, just being present.
Values and ethics, then you'll be all right. You can find your way to navigate. You still might bump your head a couple of times, but it won't be as as explosive. That's just my opinion. So I agree and disagree at the same time.
I think that they're proud in a sense that they were left holding the bag, and they were the ones that had to step up and do X, Y, and Z. So yeah, that is actually something to be proud of, because you can say I raised my child, I did the absolute best I can. They graduated from school, they didn't get into trouble. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think
if
it's
if they didn't get into trouble,
if they graduated school too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, if there's something to be proud of, yes, I think that is okay. Or
some people are just proud that your child is still alive.
And it's actually packaged in a way that says it's a single mother's fault when apparently they're lacking. So what makes sense, the logical thing, is that it's a absentee's father's fault, right? If we look at this using the exact same logic that you just put out, the information that is being spread is that it's the single mothers who raise these delinquent kids, these kids that are going to jail and who don't do well in life, X, Y, and Z. Okay, that's a symptom. You can't look at a symptom. You have to look at the ailment and what the diagnosis is of that ailment. And that ailment and the diagnosis is that there's an absentee father.
Yeah, but then on the flip, and you challenge it with the same numbers and the same stats with a single father, and the correlation is completely different, or the outcome is completely different when you compare them. So if I have a single father and it's like, okay, a single mother is 70% of the men in jail or whatever that stat is that he said.
He said 80. I don't know. What the number
80.
Is.
He did say 80.
I don't know the number.
Let's just say
It's
based
80.
on his stat,
It might be
quote,
higher. It's
80% of them come from a single household with a mother. But then on the flip side, with the single household of a father, it's extremely less. So we can see what the actual problem is. But I mean, I can always agree, because I don't think that boys need to be around or heavily influenced by women as kids. But what I'm saying is,
I agree with that. I don't know why they just edited him. He must have said something crazy. But nevertheless, I didn't want to step on her work, and I didn't want to jump in too soon, because we'll never get through this video. But the absentee father conversation has to stop, because at the end of the day, let me lock in. At the end of the day, we have to look at the results, right? So you can make your case, a man can make his case. One person saying their opinion, another person has an opinion that's rooted in facts. So an opinion can be right or wrong. If you have an opinion that goes against actual provable facts, your opinion is wrong. You can invalidate an opinion. An opinion can be wrong if it is against facts. So again, the proof is in the results for sure. Like she talking about absentee fathers, that's a narrative that's unfairly put on men. The amount of men who want to be in their kids' life without resistance, without drama, without headaches. Also, for a lot of men, without court, right? These men want to be in their children's lives, and it is made hard as hell by these women. And if you say something about it, it's a problem, right? You can't hold their feet to the fire. Y'all heard earlier in the video what accountability sound like. Accountability for women sound like, they're not trying to hear that shit. It's us. Every time. It's our fault. Every time. You know how this shit go.
The comparison that we're saying is that a boy, essentially, we're not arguing that a father needs to be present. Well, a suitable father needs to be present. That's not the argument here. The argument here is that some women are choosing to not have a father present or have a father figure present for that boy, specifically speaking, and then having pride of actually raising this boy without that person not knowing or believing that he's not going to be affected by not having that father around. And the actual stats are showing that a woman, in most case basis, cannot raise a good civilian boy. So that's the real thing. I mean, I could pull up so many different things. And then we talk about, all right, well, the chicken or the egg, who came first? Did black men abandon the black women and leave them for food? Or did black women bite the bait and take the money to kick the black man out of the household? Okay, so we can go back and forth because at different periods of times, they both happen, right? But that's not the point here. The point here is that the actual...
But I think it is the point because he's talking about information.
I also have friends right now. I could call them. They could come here and tell you the truth on how... Matter of fact, I got so excited when I was doing auditions for a show, and I had 3 men come on this, and I didn't know them, or I didn't know their history. I had 3 men come on the show and explain how they won custody of their child and how they had to fight for custody of that child. First of all, so when we're talking about men leaving out of a child's life, I do think that
I personally know a man who went through hell or high water to get majority custody of his child. Let's normalize giving that baby away to their dad. Give the baby to their dad. Let's normalize that. Get that baby to their dad. Because if you still want to be outside, if you still want to be in the streets, matter of fact, it don't even got nothing to do with your intentions to be outside or be in the streets. If you complaining about motherhood like it's something regretful, get a baby to the dad, especially if it's a boy. Get that little boy to his dad.
That is a thing. But we completely disregard how hard it is for some of these men to even be a father because of the mother. So you're telling me that when historically, the men that go to war, they take the women once they win the war. Well, what do you think happened with the government? They won the war. They took the women, right, in numerous different ways. And then they left the black man outside. And then the black man is now being ridiculed for all the systematic oppression and the dumbass psychological ways of thinking, of treating their family. And we are byproducts of what a woman has chose against us. And it's been, again, because at some point in time, I don't believe that you can say, all right, this happened to me 50 years ago or happened to somebody in my family, my ancestors 50 years ago, and use it as an excuse. So at some point in time, yes, men now got to say, you know what? I know better. I know what they did, but I can't do it. I can't be what they were. So I do, like I said, again, it's been wrong here and wrong here, wrong here and wrong here, wrong here and wrong here. A lot of my friends that didn't have fathers growing up are great fathers today. And that's a fact. And it's not that we learn how to be fathers by another role model. We learn how to be fathers by looking and saying, yo, you know what? I know why I was explosive. I know why I was a dangerous individual. You sit here and make a man only accountable for having to have the awareness to say, no. You're sitting here. You're sitting here with no. She can be cropped out. I don't need her in my frame. I'll crop it.
I saw what you did.
I'll crop it. Like you're sitting here having men. You're sitting here having men be accountable for having sex with women unprotected and busting up in them knowing that they could potentially get them pregnant, in which I do agree. But you're not going to sit here and take the accountability away from a woman who actually literally holds more power than a man when it comes to 1, getting pregnant, and 2, coming to term with the actual baby. Alan, you're talking about a time frame.
I ain't gonna lie. Let's stop real quick and give Rico his credit for being the best tightroper on the internet. Like, I rock with Rico. This ain't even a ridicule. It's just me pointing out the obvious. Like, Rico knows how to tightrope better than anybody on the internet. Most of us men on the internet, we on one side of the line or the other. We either rocking with reality or we pandering to women. That's really your options. Because if you're going to operate in truth, the whole truth, then the truth is the majority of the honest is going to be on women. And the reason why we haven't resolved a lot of our issues is because you can't currently tell a black woman shit. So we're not going to fix these problems if the majority of the problems or the majority of the cause of what needs, the majority of the resolution that needs to take place is on the gender that takes the least accountability. And that's why our road to progress has been a crawl instead of a sprint. Took me a second, but I got it.
With bitches was fucking niggas in the same city. Bitches is fucking niggas from all the way over there. Nobody can check. Who's gonna check somebody from fucking Los Angeles?
That community is gone.
The world is bigger now. You can't. Before, I knew somebody who knew you. Now I don't know anybody that knows you. Like, you met this person and this person met in Miami on vacation during spring break. They just so happen to keep in contact, and now they're having sex, casual sex, after spring break. However, one person is one person. I'm just saying, hypothetical.
I know.
One person is in Maryland. One person is in New Jersey. It's only a 3-hour drive. So, but what I'm saying is, it's not the same. There's no community there to check him.
No.
Who's going to check him? He's all the way 3 hours away. Not saying Amanda, but Amanda's family about to all drive down, and Amanda, all of Brooklyn's going to drive down to Maryland to check this nigga to make sure.
Yeah.
We are.
That's not happening.
No, we are.
You know, first of all, rule number one, you never take your city and go to another hood. You don't make it back out. Like that's not happening, bro. It's not realistic. If you want to go back to that way, turn off Instagram, stop flights, and stop travel. Everybody will be able to know everybody in a good circumference, and then guess what? Everybody can hold each other accountable. But if I don't know anything about your history, your family, your relations, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do
Can I
that.
offer just a very easy solution to this? I know you want to try to stir some shit up, Alan.
No.
I think the solution is that women, part of that. I think that women really should move about the world only thinking of themselves when it comes to dealing with men. Because if something happens and, you're pregnant or, you're the one who has to take care of the child. So I think that...
No, you don't. Give that child to his daddy. If motherhood is an obligation, and again, only hit dogs should holler. I'm not here to be agreed with. I'm only here to discuss what's going on outside. Hopefully we can get to a point where we can resolve some of the issues and fix the percentages of Black families that get together, get created, and stay together. That's the goal here. But we got to be honest. Get that baby to his dad, fam. If it is so taxing, if this shit is so hard, if it is such an obligation, woe is me. Just get a baby to his dad, fam. And if that child, the boy or the girl, got a father that you don't trust to give the baby to, then why did you trust him enough to spread your legs? We not avoiding this shit today. Yeah, I got time. Cuz.
Women probably need to just stop dealing with dudes like that, period. Do not deal with somebody who is not caring about you, who's not going to be involved. Because if they care about you, they're going to care about their child. You know what I mean? So just don't even associate yourself with people like that.
What is this narrative? Black men, jump in these comments and let them know it's real. When we stop caring about our kids? When do we stop caring about our kids? You got dudes raising kids they think is theirs. Them ain't even their kids. You got dudes who know the kids ain't theirs and taking on the kids. When do we stop caring about the kids? I go to a youth football game anywhere in a 20-mile, 50-mile radius of where I stay at, and it's going to be Black dads out there coaching. When do we stop caring about kids? Historically, at what point in time did Black men stop caring about their kids? That shit ain't real.
And if you are not a good judge of character, just leave them all alone.
Become a lesbian.
Be a lesbian, shit. Just leave
that
them.
Would be 100% of y'all. Y'all know some women that's a good judge of character without making 3-4 mistakes first? That'd be damn near 100% of y'all. 90-something percentile. You understand? So this whole, what she say? Oh, if women are a bad judge of character, they just need to leave men alone altogether. Well, there wouldn't be no women to choose from. Never mind.
Them all alone.
Get pregnant there.
Work on your craft. Work on your business. Work on yourself. Just leave them all alone, because right now we're at a point where there's no shame. Ain't nobody shaming you. Ain't nobody sending you to go live with your auntie while you had a baby and be hidden away. That doesn't exist anymore. But I just think that if we really care as a community about creating and perpetuating broken families, the men aren't taking charge of being a leader in that regard. So the women have to. So the women need to step up.
Hey, she full of shit, respectfully. I ain't got no problem with nobody on 8 at the table, but right now she's full of shit.
Just be like, I'm not doing it. I'm not messing with these niggas. I'm not having sex with these niggas.
And the crazy thing is, last time I checked, she was the married one on the panel. So that's nasty work.
And in some countries are calling it, I think, the 4B movement or something like that. It's a big, it's actually a really big deal in Asia right now. I think it's called 4B. They're just not dealing with men. Because they don't want to end up in those particular situations.
The 4B movement is about females putting that coochie on the shelf. Put it on the shelf. Y'all giving it out too easy anyway. Put it up. If the 4B movement comes to America realistically, I guarantee you see the marriage rate go up. You see the marriage rate go up. You mean to tell me more females is going to be selective with the vagina, meaning we have less hoes outside, more women who are respectable and reasonable? I'm not going on a first date with a chick that got 30 heads on her, 40 heads on her, 13, 14, 15 heads on her already. Man, I'm with the 4B shit. Put that thing on the shelf. Become wives again. How about that? How about that? Put it on the shelf. It's dudes out here that's looking at women like a body count, and we ain't even got to ask y'all body count. but it happened regardless of whether you disclose it or not. We out here looking at the number 10 for a woman's body count as an acceptable or a low number. Real talk. A woman shouldn't have sex with 10 different men in a lifetime. Now jump in the comments and let's talk about it. Ladies, if you upset, if that just triggered you, jump in the comments. Let's talk about it. I got this tone y'all hear me having today, this passion, yo. Like I got passion. I come from a strong ass black family, and I want the strong ass black family to be normal again. So this rhetoric she's spewing, I gotta combat this shit. Put the pussy on the shelf. You ain't hurting nobody. You gonna help everybody. Put it up.
And then there's some variations of it. I think when there's like 6B or something like that, but it's like a really like big growing movement among women. I think it started in Asia. Ohio, they're trying to the same foolishness that they're pulling, I think, in Texas with, I guess, women being fined or whatever for trying to get an abortion. If you skeet in a woman in Ohio, and I think you're not married or something or other,
You don't want to have the baby.
or you don't want to have the child, then you get fined, I think, $10,000. I don't know. Can you post like on the
There is a fine of up to 10,000.
But yeah, like,
and it could be.
I'm not against it, to be honest.
I just think that if a woman doesn't want to have a baby with a man, then she should close her legs. And if a woman doesn't know a man, then she should close her legs. It's on her because I can't fuck her unless she allows me. And depending on how I decide to fuck her with or without a condom is really her discretion. So if she consents for this, right? It is not on me. Now, I do agree that you shouldn't be a lot more, cautious, or just more so like conscious about what you're going to do. I wasn't looking for the word conscious. Like you should be a lot more like, you know what I'm saying? But yes, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, there's sexual liberation happening at an all-time high, and you telling me it's my child, but I know 5 niggas that you fuck. So now I gotta be responsible for a child that I don't know is mine.
Hey, them just the 5 he know. He just know 5.
We talking about things pulling up about stupid ass Ohio and the ace metaphors that it raised. Well, let's pull up some other shit where they're talking about having to have an actual DNA test be mandatory after birth.
You should have been done that.
But why is that happening? It's not happening because the girls are so great and innocent and angelic and they're only having sex with one man at a time. It's happening because these women are out here having frivolous sex with multiple men and they don't know who's the actual father. So until they can correct.
Just said that. And DNA test, mandatory DNA test at birth would be another form of accountability. Accountability. Accountability.
Correct their decisions. You can't just say if you have a baby, be a husband. The baby's not even his.
So it's guys, it's a woman's fault.
It's been a woman's fault because they hoes. They're fucking hoes.
It's a woman's fault.
Saying the word.
And men have no accountability when it comes to.
We took ours. The reason why the progress is slow is because the majority of the accountability falls on the party that don't want to take none. If the accountability fall on the party that don't want to take accountability, our road to progress is slow. Do you understand? Men don't have the option to take accountability. We don't take accountability. We end up on our ass on the street, poor, begging for change on the side of the expressway where I'm from. If you don't take no accountability, life holds men accountable. It ain't optional. And that's from birth.
It's 70-30. Alan, I have also 9 pregnancies. One that came to term. So you want to talk about me in all aspects.
Wait, is that the truth?
That is truth. I'm 9 for 10. I've been saying that. I said it here years ago. I'll say it again. I am 9 for fucking 10.
That was lost in the footage and you said that again?
It was never lost in the footage. But I am 9 for 10. So yeah, like I'm not, see, the thing is this, we're not living in fairy tale. We're not living in a fairy tale bullshit land no more. We're living in the reality. You want to talk about what is the real? This is the real. I'm going to tell them if a broad is fucking you on the first day without a condom, don't trust her. That's what I'm going to tell you. And guess what? If a lot of women are doing it, then you need to understand that a lot of women ain't shit. So if you get her pregnant, you got to understand what comes with that. Most likely that kid is not going to be yours. Secondly, what's going to happen is you have to go through a whole different process of being a father and co-parent with a girl that you know is a hoe, which is nuts. More women are hoes now than ever before. And you want niggas to stop fucking? You want niggas to be celibate? Like this is nuts to me, bro.
But
let him cook. Let him cook. Woo! God damn it. Hey, he be tight roping, but when he come to our side of the line, he be cooking. I know why he tight rope is to keep him here while he trying to get his message off. He tight rope to keep him here. And then he come on our side of the line and he get the drumming on these motherfuckers.
Are we? Hold on. 2 butts in the conversation. Are we back? Are we back to saying? Are we back to saying that women are hoes?
Yes.
For wait. No, for sleeping with you on the first date, because I thought we had now said that that's okay. If that's what you want to do, that's what you're gonna do. If y'all vibe or whatever.
Without a condom.
Nigga, you a hoe too. You little dirty dick pass around nigga.
But niggas be hoes though. And we don't. So the thing is, we don't deny our wholeness. So y'all want to be a hoe with no consequence too. Listen, my consequence is I gotta pay child support, and I might have to live with the fact that
wait. You see that? It ain't. Oh, now I have to be a father. It ain't, oh, I gotta do pickup. Oh, I gotta clean diapers. Oh, I gotta wake up at 3 a.m. to feed a baby. It's, oh, I gotta pay child support.
Yes.
So who's parenting?
But that's my point.
Who's parenting?
But that's okay.
So who's parenting?
The mom who chose, that's her consequence. You decided to have sex with a nigga who was not serious about you, and you don't want to reap what the fuck you sow.
You literally just
the nigga don't care about you. You let the nigga nut in you. You didn't take a plan B. You didn't try to eat. Well, I don't know if you believe in abortion, but you didn't try to get an abortion. If you do,
I'm so excited
because I'm tired of the bullshit, bro. I'm tired of the bullshit. The bullshit is this: do not open your fucking legs with a nigga that you don't know is about his shit and get mad when he shows you he ain't shit. It's you. You had the control. I don't get it.
This shit make niggas passionate, boy. He sounded like me. This shit make us passionate, folks. It's passion, folks. And she trying to weaponize his passion. Why are you so excited? Nobody asked you that shit when you get loud about some shit, right? You just being a woman. That nigga can get loud. He passionate. He feel this shit. He's a girl dad. Ain't that what y'all call it and all that shit?
Women, Rico just told y'all, leave all these males alone.
Until you know he's about something.
No.
Leave him alone. 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 That's not what I told him, but leave him alone.
Get on some 4B shit.
Yeah, get on some 4B
shit.
Get on 4B and be gone.
Up, get your edges right. Get your skin clear.
And be gone. Like,
get you a bear. Get you a bear.
Rose.
Get you a bear.
A bear and a rose.
Which one?
A bear because you know a bear versus a man.
Oh.
And a rose.
He's saying it's not equal. He's saying the woman is a source of consequence.
No, I'm saying that. No. What I'm saying is, you're both wrong. I'll say it again because everybody here doesn't seem to understand. You are both fucking wrong. So since you're both wrong, don't do it. She's 19. She's a little girl. But let's say that same girl, hypothetically, if you could, is another version of her that's 29 and she wants to have sex and I find her very attractive. I'm going to say no.
Hey, Harriet would have left a lot of niggas behind.
A nigga helped her. A nigga helped her.
Who?
Your auntie. Annie.
Here we go. And we've arrived at the moment where the work gets stepped on. Somebody was going to step on the work. Here we go. And Harriet Tubman would have left a lot of niggas behind. Here we go, y'all. Somebody always going to step on the work. Just come up with some shit that don't make no sense at all to try to just cut the man's legs off. But look, this conversation ain't progressing no further. That man made his points. Let me lock in and just say what I need to say. I think ultimately this conversation is one that is still largely unproductive because, again, the party that need to take accountability still is very slow to do so. I'm not going to say that women don't take accountability at all because there is a whole community of women that follow like Reva TV, Melanie King, just to name a couple of women that I subscribe to that get it. And their community of women seem to get it, right? And a lot of those women are also married, right? So a wife is a wife, right? But that ain't all women are not wives. All men are not husbands. I think the problem is that everything has always existed. There was brothels in the Bible, prostitutes in the Bible. There was wives in the Bible. There was good and bad. But even if you go back to scripture, most of the women in the Bible wasn't shit. I could name more ain't shit women in the Bible than I could name good ass women. And that's a fact. So what I'm saying is it's always been a needle and haystack game. It's always been a needle and haystack game. You got to go through the haystack and find that needle, and the needle would be that wife, that special woman. The truth is the majority of these females ain't shit. That's the reality of it. If y'all want to turn the blicky and put it back on us and say the majority of us ain't shit, I would disagree with my whole heart. I would say most men are worth a damn for a woman that they give a damn about. So if you was with a man who treated you as though he ain't shit, he treated you like an ain't shit nigga treat you, it's just because he didn't value you. He'll get with another woman and move totally different with her. So it ain't that he ain't shit. You just ain't shit to him. And it's your option to fuck with that nigga. He gonna get what he can get from you with your permission. Stop giving out your permission. Oh, my bad. Accountability again. But yeah, I'm off this one, man. It's been fun. I like this conversation with Ed at the table. I appreciate Rico's passion. You know, I don't like how she stepped on the work, but y'all know how I get. But man, if y'all don't do nothing else, man, subscribe, like, and comment. Let's talk about it. More work on the way. And if you don't do nothing else, man, stick to the codes. You already know.
There you go. Talk to him. Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode.